So you get one of these. This is Kador, which I'll be playing, and John's going to be playing Legion of Everblight. We also have some more over here, like Cricks. And we even have the big core army box from Grimkin. This would be for like a larger army if you wanted to start off with. This is a fantastic deal. I think it's like $420 of models that you can get for 200 bucks. So basically 50% off. Pretty sweet. So before we start off, I'm going to show off some of the cards, which have the model stats and everything that you need to play. So
yeah,
here is Commander Sorce's card. So first off, we have speed 6. So a model can walk up to that speed. So she can walk 6 inches a turn. So strength, which is how strong the model is, it contributes to how much damage they do in melee. Mat is how well they hit models in melee. So Sorcerer's Mat 6. So you would roll 2 dice, add your mat. If you equal or greater than the defense of the model you're trying to hit, then you hit them. Rat is similar for ranged attacks, basically the same thing. She's next, she's got a defense stat 16, which is pretty high, and armor 15, and her command is 9. That won't come into play this game since we're only playing with battle groups. We don't have any units. So next off, you'll see a symbol underneath the first row of numbers, which is like, it looks like a snowflake with a kind of like a no through it. So she's immune to cold. And other models will have other circles there. So next, you'll see her weapons listed. So she has a hand cannon, which is kind of the quintessential like ranged weapon for the game. So it's first, you'll see it's got the gun symbol, which means it's a ranged weapon. So it has a range of 12. So
12 inches?
Yep. You can shoot anyone up to 12 inches. Roth, which is rate of fire. So in this case, it's 1. So she gets to make 1 shot with it per turn. Some models will have a higher Roth, like 2 or 3. So they can shoot 2 or 3 times a turn. AoE, which has a dash through it, so it's not an area of effect attack. I have a model that has an area of effect attack, so that may come up in the game. And then POW, 12. So POW, yeah. So you would roll, if you hit someone, you roll 2 dice, add your POW, and subtract their armor, and that's how much damage you do to them. Next up, we have her melee weapon, which is denoted by the sword, which is Frostfang. Has a range of 2. So she can, in melee, she has a 2-inch melee range.
Oh, cool. And real quick, everyone can look these up online, right? It's free to find.
So
you can
private
get the app as well.
Yes. So the app that you want is War Room 2. There was War Room 1, but there were some issues with it, so Privateer Press moved on to make a new app, War Room 2, which is great. Or you can find all the cards online if you just search Privateer Press card database.
Oh, cool.
You can print these out for free.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yep.
And so when people are watching, they can just look up these two decks that we're using, I guess.
Yep.
Sweet.
And even all the core rules are also available for free online off their website.
Oh, and for those of you who are on Facebook, we're also on Twitch and YouTube, so which is cool. If you want to look up Gigabytes TV on either, it's all one word, no dash for that, Gigabytes TV on Twitch and YouTube. You can look us up there. It's streamed at a higher level, so you can probably see what that card says on YouTube and Twitch if you watch over there. So just so you know.
Yep. So range 2, so she has a 2-inch melee range. POW, which is 7.
Okay.
Which is usually not important. The number that you're looking for is P plus S, which is POW plus strength, which is 13. So in melee, you take the POW of the weapon, add your strength, which they've already done for you.
Nice.
And that's basically, instead of the POW like you use for the ranged attack, you use POW plus strength.
Cool.
So 13 plus 2 dice, subtract the armor, that's how much damage you do.
All right.
And in this case, it also has a little symbol underneath it, which looks like a bunch of stars.
Okay.
That means a magical weapon.
Ooh.
Which in this game won't come into play, but it lets you hit things that are like incorporeal, which is like ghostly.
Okay.
Which normal weapons you can't hit them with.
Good to know.
And then at the bottom, you'll see there's a bunch of boxes. In this case, 17. That's how much hit points she has. And then in this case, she has a WJ number, which is plus 29, I think. That's what that says. Yep. So she would get 29 Warjack points. So the game is on a point system.
Cool.
And your Warjack points are basically points you can subtract from your Warjacks and War Beasts, so that they count for free.
Oh, cool. Okay.
In a smaller point game, we're just doing this battle group, so we're pretty evenly matched right now. I think John's force is 35 points, and mine is 26, I think.
Oh, wow. Okay. So I could hopefully win. No, probably not.
Shit.
Tommy's like, no, you won't win.
And in this case, the field allowance is how many of the model you can take. Since Sorcer's a Warcaster, she's a character, so you can have one.
One character? Okay.
And you can play bigger games with multiple Warcasters, which I've done like 1 or 2 of. They're pretty fun. You can get some fun interactions between different Warcasters. Oh, and I missed her focus stat. So this is the big thing about Warmachine is the focus, which lets your Warcaster cast spells and do awesome things.
It's denoted by this stack.
Yep.
With symbols, and then you take them off as you use them and gain them later.
Yep.
Which Tommy will explain to me because I have no idea what that means. I assume that you take them off and put them back on. So.
Yep. So,
oh wait, no, this is focus over here.
So this is Khador. So Khador uses focus because they're a Warmachine faction.
Ah, okay.
You're a Hordes faction, so you use Fury,
and
which is
Fury?
either or, just a token.
Okay.
We're just using tokens.
Cool.
But the systems are a little bit different.
Okay.
So I'll explain that later.
Cool.
And the one relevant thing about focus is her control area is double the focus stat. So John's Warlock has a Fury stat of 5. Mm-hmm. So her control area will be 10.
Gotcha.
Mine has a focus stat of 6, so her control area will be 12.
And that goes out from the edge
yes.
of her? Okay.
Always measure from the edge of the base.
Gotcha. So if it was the center point, it'd be really 12.5 inches or so. Good to know. Sweet.
All right. And on the back of the card, you'll see unique rules for the model. Mm-hmm. So in this case, Sorcia doesn't have any rules that are specific to her, but her weapons do. So Frostfang has a couple rules, which is critical freeze. So a critical hit is when you're rolling 2 dice and you roll 2 of the same number. So if I rolled a 5 and a 5.
Oh, cool.
That's a crit. It doesn't do anything for added damage, and unless you have a critical effect, it normally doesn't matter. But in this case, she does. So
ooh.
Critical freeze. If I make a critical hit, then a model with immunity cold, which none of John's army is immune to cold, will be frozen, stationary, which has a whole bunch of negatives that come along with it. And then shatter. So if she hits a model that is stationary, then she gets an additional damage die. So
okay.
she can start dishing out some damage.
Sweet.
And then, so that's her first card. So Warcasters and Warlocks have 2 cards. And the second card is her spell list. So you'll see all the spells listed. In this case, she has 6 spells. They have a cost, which is how much focus or fury you have to spend. In my case, it's focus. In John's case, it's fury. A range, so how far it goes. So this spell has range 6. This spell is range self, which means she can only target herself with it. And the others like 8, 10, AoE. So is it an area of effect spell? In this case, this one is control, so it affects her whole control area. And there's another one that's AoE 4. So AoEs are denoted by this template.
Templates.
This is a blast template. So it has a 3-inch AoE, a 4-inch AoE, and a 5-inch AoE.
Nice. That's centered over a model.
Yep.
Cool.
And then after that, we have POW. So it works like a ranged attack. So this one would be POW 12. So roll 2 dice, add that, subtract the armor. That's how much damage.
Okay.
Duration. So this one's turn. So it only lasts for your turn. This one's round. so it lasts for both my turn and John's turn, but then it expires at my next turn.
Gotcha.
And then this one is upkeep. So that one can go on forever, but at the start of the next round, I have to spend a focus to upkeep it.
Okay.
I don't have to cast it again. And then the last column is offense. So is it an offensive spell? So this one is not, so it says no. This one is, so it says yes.
Nice.
And so under the spell, it lists what it does. And so one that's going to be pretty relevant is like Boundless Charge. I can cast it on a friendly model, and then when they charge, they get an extra 2 inches and Pathfinder, which is pretty sweet. And then on the back, you'll see the model's feat, which is a once per game ability that the Warcaster or Warlock can use. And it has a bunch of flavor text underneath the name, and then it lists what it does. So enemy models without immunity to cold, currently in Sorcerer's control range and line of sight, become stationary for 1 round. So she freezes everyone that she can see.
I'll deal with that. That's fine.
Yeah. So here's John's Warlock.
Good. Lilith?
Yep.
Is that right?
Lilith, Herald of Everblight.
Probably gonna be blurry if I show it up there, but good model.
So in this case, Lilith is speed 7, strength 4, mat 5, rat 7. She really wants to shoot people.
Okay, so ranged attack is alright, rat.
Yep. Defense 16, armor 14, command 8. So she has Eyeless Sight, which is a pretty cool ability that lets you ignore concealment, cover, cloud effects, and stealth.
Wow, it's a lot.
Yep.
Nice, I like it.
Yeah, it was actually stronger in Mark II and was a little bit nerfed coming into Mark III.
Right. Well, I imagine
Yeah.
there's a lot of abilities that it kind of negates.
Yeah, and a lot of your army has Eyeless Sight,
Oh.
including all your war beasts.
Nice.
And then the little boot you see is Pathfinder. So she ignores movement penalties from terrain.
Cool.
And then she's got a magic bow with Roth 2. So here's an example of a ranged weapon that has a Roth higher than 1, so she can shoot twice in a turn. And then bow blade. So in this case, she's got a 1/2 inch melee range. So melee ranges are either 1/2 inch, 1 inch, which my jacks have 1 inch melee range, or 2 inch. Then here's her spells. She's got 3 spells. She's only Fury 5. She doesn't cast many spells. 15 damage boxes. So that's pretty straightforward. And then on the back, in this case, Lilith has an ability that applies to her, which is Prowl. So if she's in something that gives her concealment, she gains stealth.
Oh, sweet.
Stealth is like, if I'm farther than 5 inches away from you, and I try to shoot you, I miss.
Wow, just miss.
Yeah.
Okay. Put her in the bushes.
Yeah.
She's hidden.
And then her
Did
bow.
someone literally just take carpet? Yeah, they did. Okay. I like it. Looks like cornfields. Nice.
So her bow has 3 ammo types, so every time you shoot it, you get to pick 1. And then her feat says, while in Lilith's control range, which is 10 inches from her, friendly faction models. So friendly means any model that's on your side. Faction means it has to come from your faction. So sometimes I can bring mercenaries, which would be friendly, but they're not friendly faction because they're not Khador models.
Okay.
In your case, you can bring minions.
Ooh. I like minions.
Which Mr. John Galvin plays.
Yes.
Minions are good. A lot of gators and pigs. So friendly faction models roll an additional die on attack rolls this turn.
Wow.
So you get 3 dice to hit,
Nice. I'll
which
take
is
it.
really good. Okay, so moving on, I'll show one of my Warjack cards. This is a pretty typical Warjack. So we have the Juggernaut. So it's speed 4, so it's much slower than a lot of things. It's a heavy Warjack, so usually heavy Warjacks are speed 4, speed 5, because they're big tough robots. So he's strength 12, which is really high compared to the warrior models. Ooh, I actually have the wrong card.
No!
That is a Mark II card.
Oh, so we have a new edition. Yep. Now the cool thing about using, if you can use cards of course, but if you want to, you can use the app, and that's currently, like, it's always up to date. So they have a community feature which allows feedback from the community to affect balance, which is awesome. And so whenever they make any sort of changes, you can have the most up-to-date thing on the app.
Yep, the app is always the most current edition of the model's rules, and it also lets you track damage, which is pretty cool. So now that I have the right card, I knew it because in Mark II, the Juggernaut was Mat 6, and Mark III, the Juggernaut's Mat 7, which is much better. Rat 4 doesn't have any ranged attacks, so that doesn't matter. Defense 10, so it's super easy to hit. And then it's armor 20, so it's pretty tough. Warjacks don't have command. On this little hammer you see, it means to construct, so it's like something you'd build. So it's a robot, it doesn't have a soul, and it's affected by things that say construct. So it has an open fist, which is range 1, POW 3, so powerful strength 15. And this fist means it's an open fist, so it can make throws and other things that you can do with the fist. Ice Axe, also range 1, POW 7, powerful strength 19. So that's its main weapon.
Okay.
And on the left side of the card, you'll see this grid over here, which is how you mark damage on it. So a Juggernaut, it's a 6x6 grid, so 6 columns of 6 rows. The lower left and lower right are already marked in, so it has 34 boxes. So when John damages my Warjack, it would be like 3 damage, and then he would roll another die for the column. So 3 damage to column 1, I'd mark 3 off of column 1. And then if it has a letter in it, that corresponds to a system. So the L's are the left arm, which is its fist, so you can break its fist.
Cool.
R is right arm, break its axe. Cortex is how it's where it stores its focus. Focus lets Warjacks do all kinds of nice things.
Cool.
So breaking its cortex is really big, because then it becomes much worse at doing its job. And then movement, so you can break its legs, which means it won't be able to run or charge anymore, and its defense falls, so it's easier to hit.
Cool.
And then it has a point cost over here and a field allowance. So a lot of these non-character Warjacks are field allowance unlimited, so you could bring as much as you wanted. And on the back we have, once again, just rules for the model. In this case, its Ice Axe has crit freeze, just like Sorsh's Frostfang had.
Cool.
And then we can show off what a Warbeast looks like.
Yes, it's the Carnivian, right?
Yep. So the Carnivian is actually a pretty fancy Warbeast. It's got a lot of rule on it. So it's a speed 5, so it's a little bit faster. Strength 12, as strong as the Juggernaut. Mat 6, Rat 4, Defense 11, Armor 18, and Warbeasts have command. In this case, the Carnivian's command doesn't do anything for it. So this symbol you see is Assault, which is a little bit complicated. I'll explain it later when I explain how to move. Eyeless Sight, like his Warlock had. Pathfinder, just like the Warlock. And this like vortex looking symbol means it's soulless. So if it were to die, you couldn't take a soul from it.
Okay.
So usually living models in the game have souls. But this is fancy schmancy Legion of Everblight, so their Warbeasts are soulless things.
Good.
Because they're abominations. So it has a spray attack. So sprays are also templates. They look like this. So you can have a 6-inch spray, an 8-inch spray, or a 10-inch spray.
Nice.
And sprays ignore things that normally ranged attacks care about, like concealment and cover.
Okay.
And you can also hit anything under the template you make an attack roll against.
Oh, cool.
Yep. And in this case, it causes continuous fire. So fire is another effect like stationary, or it sticks around. Now fire can go out at the beginning of the turn, but if it doesn't, then your model takes a POW 12.
Wow.
which for warrior models kills a lot of random troopers or will do like serious damage to warcasters. So you don't want to be on fire. My jacks don't care as much, but my warcaster cares a lot.
Right.
And then it can bite. So 1-inch range, palpable strength 18, so that's its big damage ability. And then it has 2 talons, so you see the ×2 at the bottom. Yep. So it has 2 open fists by the symbol, and their palpable strength 16. And then war beasts have a fancy damage spiral, which is separated into 3 aspects: mind, body, and spirit. So mind controls your attack. If your mind is out, you only roll 1 dice to hit.
Oh wow.
Body controls how hard you hit. So if your body's out, you only roll 1 dice on damage. If your spirit is out, you can't be forced. So war beasts have a fury stat. So war beasts generate fury.
Cool.
So you add fury to war beasts for them to do special things. Warjacks spend focus, war beasts add fury.
Cool.
So they basically get angrier. And then the threshold is if at the start of your turn, your warlock will take all the fury from your war beasts, but you're capped at 5. So if you take 5, but there's still fury left on your war beasts, you have to see if they frenzy. So they go nuts because they're so angry. You can't control them.
Cool.
So that's listed by the threshold.
That's
so,
9 for that guy.
Yep. So if John left a fury on this guy at the start of the turn, if he rolls an 8 or lower, because 1 plus 8 would equal to 9, then he stays in control. The fury stays on him. If he rolls a 9 or higher, not in this case, then there's issues. The Carnivian goes nuts, and that's called frenzying, and we'll explain it if it happens. I'm not sure it will happen.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I might try just because.
Yeah. It's sometimes good, sometimes bad. So its point cost is listed in the lower right, and once again, fuel allowance unlimited. And then, so one special thing about war beasts is they have an animus, which is like something unique about them. They're like animal spirit, so they basically have a spell that's attached to them. So in this case, the Carnivian has a 2-cost animus, so it would add 2 fury to itself. Range self, so it can cast it, and your warlock can also cast any of the animi of your war beasts in your battle group.
Oh, that's interesting.
So she could cast his animus or their animus. AoE none, POW none, duration round, offensive no. So in this case, spiny growth, so he gets +2 armor, and then if I hit him, I take some damage.
All right.
Yep. So that's the basics of some cards.
Sweet. So now, how do we deploy?
Yep.
Or do we do initiative or all that? I don't know.
Yep. So at the start of the game, each of us will roll a die. I got a 6. Okay. We roll again.
No,
okay.
double 6. That's a 1 in 36 chance.
All right. So since I won the die roll, I either get to pick who goes first.
Okay.
Or which side I want. So in this case, I'll choose to go first.
All right.
And now that I've chosen to go first, you get to choose if you want that side or this side.
For the sake of the stream, we're just going to stay where we are.
Cool. All right. So now, before we start deploying, let's go over what the different terrain is. Because you should always agree on what the terrain in the game does before you start the game, so you avoid issues.
I think we can agree that's a house.
Yep. So this is going to block line of sight.
Cool.
And you can't, like, go over it. You have to go around it.
Nice. Now, is it an orphan house? So, like, there could be kids inside? We're going to say it's an orphan house with kids.
Kador is protecting an orphanage against...
Ooh, that's a good mission. Yes. Against the Everblight, which wants to eat their souls.
Yep.
Cool. All right.
All right. And so I guess we'll have cornfields, which will provide concealment and will also be rough terrain. So if a model doesn't have Pathfinder, they move at half speed.
Cool.
But do all
this
of
is
your
either probably a molehill.
Yep. So a hill will provide elevation. So if you're standing completely on it, then you get +2 defense against ranged attacks.
Nice.
Because you have the high ground.
No, Anakin.
It's over, Anakin.
It's over, Anakin. You underestimate my power.
So this is water. So it's rough terrain.
Okay.
So you're slow if you go through it. And for some models, it has additional things like John's Gators care about being in water because they have an amphibious special rule. But other than that, not much. And this will be a wall. So you can charge over walls if you have Pathfinder, but otherwise you just walk over them. And if you're standing behind one, and at least within an inch, so if I'm over here, I don't get it, but if I'm here, I get it, I get cover.
Cool.
So that's +4 defense against ranged attacks.
Nice.
It's pretty sweet. So now that we've explained all this terrain, I'll start deploying. So let's just deploy it 10 inches for this. So if we're playing a scenario, which you can also find all the scenarios online in the Steamroller packet. They just put out Steamroller 2017, which is all the latest scenarios. So normally the first player would deploy at 7 inches, and then the second player would deploy at 10.
All right. So you go 7 and I go 10.
Yep.
And we do a whole deployment first?
Yep. So it's not alternating deployment in Warmachine and Hordes. It's I deploy all my models since I'm going first, and then you deploy all your models.
Sounds good.
So here's 7 inches. So I'll put Sorsha in the middle. And
Nice.
Juggernaut over here, and my destroyer on the left.
Hey, Morgan. Well, I haven't made. Whoa.
Now we're back on you.
And then now, Mr. Caspian gets deployed.
But I am very happy to be back.
Cool. 10 inches. And
Yep.
then I could she has 10-inch range, so I can have them anywhere within 10 inches.
Yep.
So in this case, I could have her over in the bush,
So they can actually go outside her control area,
like that,
but
but within deployment zone.
yeah. But
And then-
if they're not within your control area, you can't force them. So they can't add fury, so they can't do all the special things that they like to do.
Cool. Well,
So-
I'll keep them in within.
Yep.
And there they are.
Okay, so before we start, I should explain focus and fury,
Cool.
what they do. So, focus is a warcaster will automatically generate their 6, or however much up to their focus stat at the start of every turn. So there are 3 phases of a turn. There's maintenance, control, and activation. So maintenance is where we handle all the continuous effects that are going on right now. So fire is a continuous effect. Stationary doesn't matter in the maintenance phase. So fire and corrosion are typically the 2 things you care about in the maintenance phase. They're also when, if you put out something, it expires. If it lasted for 1 round, it would expire at the maintenance phase after the round is completed.
Okay.
And then you go to control phase. In my case, my warjacks get their focus for free. They get 1 focus for free when they start the turn in the control area of my warcaster. They just get generated free.
Cool.
And then I have the option to allocate focus to them. So I can move a focus from my warcaster to one of my warjacks. In this case, I don't want to, because I'm just going to be running first turn.
Right.
So warjacks spend focus, so they remove a focus to do something. So a warjack can spend a focus to charge,
Okay.
which is, so a charge is speed plus 3 inches towards an enemy model. If you end in melee range, you make a normal melee attack,
Okay.
but you get 3 dice on the damage.
Ooh, nice.
It's like you charge them and you hit them really hard.
Gotcha.
Warjacks can spend a focus to do power attacks, like slam, trample, stuff like that. I don't think I'll be doing any of that stuff this game, but that's all in the rulebook. You can check it out. It's a little bit complicated, so take a look on your own time.
We're going to keep it simple for me.
Yeah.
I have so many game systems in my head.
So warjacks can also spend a focus to run. So warcasters run for free. Run is you move up to twice your speed stat. So your warcaster is speed 7, so she could run 14 inches.
I'll take it.
If you run, your activation ends immediately after you run.
Okay.
Special blend of random objects found in our pocket.
So my Warjack is speed 4, so to run, it spends a focus and it can move up to 8 inches.
Cool.
Warjacks can also spend focus to buy attacks. So I get my 2 initials, my axe, and then a punch. And then I can buy an axe, buy an axe, buy an axe. Warjacks max out at 3 focus, so they can only hold 3 focus. And then you can also spend a focus to boost attacks. So if you're really hard to hit, like your Warcaster is defense 16, my Jack is mat 7, so I'd need a 9 to hit her. That's not that likely on 2 dice. So I can boost. I can
Only a
spend
25% chance. Yeah.
So I can spend a focus, and that would give me 3 dice to hit you.
Cool.
I can also boost damage, so I get 3 dice. So there's a difference between additional die and boost. Your feat gives you an additional attack die. Your models can also spend a focus to boost, so you could get up to 4 dice to hit.
Okay.
And on the other side, there's Fury. So Warlocks start off the game with their Fury stat. So in this case, she's Fury 5. So she'd start with 5 Fury. War Beasts that activate in their control area, nothing. But during their activation, if they're in your control area, you can force them. So to force a War Beast, you add a Fury to them, which they can do all the things that Warjacks do by adding a Fury instead of spending a focus. Basically the same thing. So if you want to run, if you want to charge, if you want to boost, if you want to buy an attack,
them, I guess.
yeah. Or they can cast their Animus, also by adding Fury. So how Fury works versus focus is, at the start of a turn, all the focus goes away, and Warcaster goes up to their focus stat automatically. Fury, you keep all the Fury on your Warlock, and you would leech all the Fury from your War Beast. So you make your War Beast angry, and then you take their Fury to fuel your spells.
And then you spend it.
And then you spend it. Yep.
Cool. That's an interesting mechanic. I like it.
Yep. But if you don't take away all of their Fury, then they have the chance of frenzying, which is when they go crazy and they attack the nearest thing.
Oh boy.
Friend or foe.
Cool. So it's a very interesting overcharge mechanic. I like it.
Yeah. So focus is a lot like resource management. Fury is a lot like a risk.
Reward.
Yeah.
I like it. I kind of like the idea of risk reward. I'm all about it.
And so usually heavy War Beasts have like 4 Fury or 5 Fury, so they can do more in a turn than a Warjack can.
Interesting. With a big risk.
Yep.
I like it. Cool. So since you deployed first, that means you start first?
Yep.
All right.
There's no seizing in this game. If I deploy first, I go first.
Gotcha.
So I'll start off. So I'm just going to keep my cards here for reference.
Sure. I got mine over here.
So I'm going to start with Sorsha. She's going to cast Boundless Charge on my Juggernaut. So as you can see, I've given them a free focus because they started the turn in the control area of Sorsha.
Okay.
So she casts Boundless Charge on the Juggernaut, so the Juggernaut can charge for free, and he moves an additional 2 inches. So this is a fancy way of getting my Juggernaut, which normally charges 7, to charge 9. I can run 8, but now I can charge 9. So I can get him a further inch up the board.
Nice. It's important.
Yep. And now Sorsha is going to walk. So during your activation phase, you activate a model at a time. Or in the case that you have a unit, the unit activates at the same time.
Gotcha.
And so they move first, and then they do all their attacks. But you can cast a spell anytime during the model's activation. So I cast a spell before I moved, and now I'm going to cast a spell after I move. So I'm going to cast Fog of War, which I'll represent with this.
And then when I
token.
cast, I just use the token in this cast.
Yep.
So in Warhammer, it's a psychic effect you have to roll for, but this is just spend it.
Yep.
Cool. Great.
We're not using the powers of the warp or anything.
Right.
This is just magic that the Warcaster knows.
Gotcha.
And so, I'm going to say her activation is done because I have a ranged attack, but it's only 12 inches, so I'm nowhere close to shooting those guys. Now my Juggernaut is going to charge. So he picks an enemy model. I'm going to pick that Shredder. So I have to take a line that would get him, if he could move 1,000,000 inches, he would get there.
Right.
But he can't.
Or about 2.5 feet or 3 feet.
Yep. So I charged 9 inches with Boundless Charge.
Almost 3 feet.
Yep. So I moved 9 inches. So these are guild sticks, which are
cool.
Made for Guild Ball. There's also a couple of Warmachine variants out, but I just have these. They're just like a certain number of inches, so this is like 4, this is like 10.
Cool.
They're really handy for this game because there's a lot of times you want exact measurement. So he charges 9, so he'll go like this.
Neat.
And then since he failed a charge, he didn't get to you, his activation ends immediately.
But you would have anyway, right?
Yep. He would have run anyway. He has no range attacks.
Gotcha.
And then my Destroyer is going to spend a focus to run right back here. So Boundless Charge expires.
Okay.
So I have Fog of War up, and then it's your turn.
All right. And so when I look at my units, I'm looking at my leader. It's a turn of going. You typically take the Warlock first, the caster first.
Depends.
So in this case, she has speed 7.
Yep. And she's also Pathfinder, so
Right.
she can advance through this at no penalty.
Cool. So I'm just going to go 14 inches forward, and I can cast a spell. And then she has the Field of Slaughter, which I don't really need right now. Prowl. She gains stealth. What other spells can I have for her? Hellsinger, is that one?
Here's your spells.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yep.
So Rupture of Spines, don't really need that. Parasites, Pursuits.
I think all your spells are offensive, right?
Yeah, one of them says if the target enemy model advances during its activation, one model in the spellcaster's battle group in control range can immediately make a full advance.
Yeah. So but it's offensive, so you have to hit one of my models
Oh, gotcha.
with the spell.
Cool.
And I think the range is like 8 or 10 inches.
8. Yep.
So
Okay, so I will take a full advance on her for 14 inches. Woohoo!
So if you're gonna want to run your War Beast to keep up, they generate Fury.
Cool.
And if you don't want them to frenzy, you're gonna want to dump all your focus. So you can actually just remove all the Fury. You can you have the option to just take away Fury from your Warlock if you want to.
Cool. So she starts off with
She starts with 5.
the 5. Okay. And then I can just take it off of her.
Yeah.
So I can say I can take off 3. She has 2 left.
Yep.
And then I run her 14. Right there. Under the hill.
Yep.
And then this guy does not have what she has, which is the moving through, right? So he's going to take a penalty to go through.
Let's see. So Carnivian
Yes.
is right there. Has on the front of the card.
On the front of the card.
Has the little boot symbol. So he also has Pathfinder.
Oh, great.
So,
All right, I'll take that.
so
And
then
his movement is 5, so he can go 10
the
inches.
issue with this is I think you moved your Warlock outside of 10 inches from these guys.
Okay.
So you can't force them to run.
So I would want to.
So you would
if
want
she
to
was
keep
here,
her within.
Yeah, move her, say, 9 inches,
Yeah.
and then she's within 10 of these guys.
Yeah.
And it's per model, right?
Yeah.
Great. So this is not like a battle group. This is like
Yeah.
individual
These
models.
guys are individual models.
Great. And so in that case, now that she's in the open, she can't get to the hill, but that's fine because I can charge this guy forward 10. So I move him forward in front of her. Woohoo!
So since he ran, he adds a focus to him.
Okay. So
Adds a
Fury
Fury. Yep.
on him.
And your Warlock has 2 on her
Okay. And then I can take it away from him immediately and just put it on her.
at the start of your next turn.
Gotcha. Cool.
So,
Okay.
yep.
And that happens before I do the whole testing for
Yeah.
Fury thing. And then these guys will all run, and they don't create Fury, right?
They do. They
Oh,
are
they
also
do?
war beasts.
Oh,
they are,
sweet.
They are lesser war beasts.
Right. They're cute.
So
I like it.
Legion
Speed
and
6.
minions and Scorn have lesser war beasts.
And they
So-
all generate 1 Fury
Yeah, for running.
each. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. There
Okie
we
doke.
go.
Alright.
Sweet.
So, since you've got Fury on your Warlock and I've got Fury on my Warcaster, I can explain one more thing. So if I were to take damage, I can spend a focus on my Warcaster to reduce the damage by 5. It's like their power field,
Okay.
like, dissipates some of the force of the impact. Warjacks can't do that. Warlocks can spend a Fury to transfer damage to a War Beast.
Interesting.
So if she were to take like 10 damage, she could transfer it to this guy, and this guy would take the damage instead.
Okay.
Spend a Fury to do that. Okay, so yeah, all right.
Ranchero.
So now I'm gonna start. Since John's done, it's gonna be the start of my second turn. So this focus goes away. My Warcaster gets back up to her 6th focus. Now, Fog of War is an upkeep spell that gives concealment to models in my control area, which is +2 defense against range attacks. So I'm going to want to upkeep that because I don't want to get shot by John. So to upkeep a spell, I don't have to spend the cost of the spell, which is 3, I just spend 1 to keep it going. So now I'm down to 5. My Warjacks get their free focus for starting the turn in the control area of my Warcaster. And then I get to choose to allocate focus. So I think my Juggernaut's going to be good with his 1 focus, but I think I want to give my Destroyer another focus.
Okay.
So, let's see here. So I know John, this is a speed 5 War Beast. He has no way to speed it up, so he can charge 8 inches, and then it has a 1-inch melee, so it threats 9 inches. So I want to keep out of 9 inches from him, because I don't want him coming up and killing my Warjack. So with my Juggernaut, I'm just going to run him by spending this focus up to 8 inches. I think I want to go like right here. These guys are speed 6, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, and they have a 1/2 inch melee, so they threat 9.5 inches. So I should be good where I am right here. So this guy is done.
Cool.
So then my Destroyer, which is a 14-inch range gun. So I want to shoot at some of these Shredders.
Oh boy.
So he can advance up to 4 inches. So I'm just walking him. So he'll walk up here. And then I want to shoot, since I have an AoE attack, I want to shoot at a model that if I directly hit him, it's going to clip all the other guys in the AoE.
Okay.
So if I shoot him, I'm probably going to hit him and him as well.
Cool.
With the blast damage. So I'm going to shoot at him. So he's within 14 inches, so so I get to make a roll against him instead of it automatically missing.
Alright.
So I'm a rat 4. What's the defense of your Shredder?
Alright, so speed 6, strength 5, defense 13.
Defense 13. So I need a 9 to hit. So that's quarter chance. So I'm going to want to boost. So I spend a focus, so I get 3 dice
Cool.
to hit.
Roll away, sir.
So I miss, because I got a 7. So since it's an AoE attack, it doesn't just miss entirely. So what we do is we center the AoE with the
3-inch
one.
blast?
It's a 4-inch blast with the one pointing directly away from my model along the line to your model. So like that. So
Okay.
now we roll 2 dice. The yellow die is going to be the direction that the AoE drifts.
Okay.
And then the green die is going to be the distance that it drifts.
In inches?
So it goes direction 6,
No.
5 inches.
No!
So we move the AoE center to right there.
So it hits
So it
these two.
hits those two. So it's blast damage, so it's half the POW of the weapon. So the POW is 14 on the weapon, so the blast damage is going to be POW 7.
Defense 11.
So
and
you're
she
you're
is
already hit.
defense 16. Oh, okay.
So because the AoE drifted over there, you're already hit by the blast damage.
Right.
So he's armor 18, right? Big guy.
Yes. Yes, armor 18.
So it's a POW 7. So it's dice off 11.
Okay.
So I'd roll these 2 dice, and then we subtract 11, and that's going to be how much damage. I'm going to roll this yellow die as the column. So a lot of the times for damage, you don't want to roll 3 dice. 2 dice for how much damage you do, and then the column,
Gotcha.
just to save time.
Right.
So I need boxcars to do a point of damage to him. I didn't do anything.
Okay.
But your Warcaster is
Ooh.
armor 14?
Yes.
So POW 7 is dice off 7. So I'd roll 2 dice and then subtract 7 to see how much damage I do. But I have a focus left. So I'm going to boost.
Ooh.
So I'm going to roll 3 dice.
When you say off 7, so you're taking her defense,
I'm taking her armor,
her armor,
subtracting the POW. So we have 14 minus 7, so 7.
so you have to do above 7.
So
to
yeah,
get
if I roll 8, I do 1 damage. If I roll 9, I do 2 damage,
Gotcha.
like that.
Gotcha. Oh, that was good.
Oh, okay. So you would take 8 damage.
Wow. That's a lot.
So you have the option of transferring that damage now.
Yeah, I'm going to put on this little guy.
Okay. So you would spend a Fury,
Okay.
and then so it would go on this guy. So I'm gonna need
the
to.
line here.
Yeah. I'm gonna need to roll a column to tell you where to put that 8 damage.
Okay.
So start on column 2.
Okay, that's the mind.
Yep. So how you mark it, it's probably be best if you had a. Is there a pen around? Or?
Yes, I can get a pen. All right, got it.
All right. So we start on 2. So you do a point there, then a point there, then a point here.
Okay,
But now
that's
we've gone through column 2, so we go to column 3. So a point, 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 and then the 7th damage point goes to column 4, and then the 8th damage point goes to column 5. So in this case, I knocked out the body of this guy. Now, don't worry. You can spend a Fury during your Warlock's activation to heal your War Beast 1 damage point.
Cool.
And your body will be fully functioning if you have at least 1 box. So you just have to heal it 1.
Okay. I can deal with that.
Yep.
Good. Good job, little guy. Proud of you.
So
You took it like a champ. Oh, that guy wasn't injured. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Sweet.
So that will be the Destroyer's activation.
Okay.
So now my Warcaster is going to go. She's got a hand cannon, which is range 12. So I want to go up there. So I'm going to try to kill John Shredder.
No. Say it ain't so.
So I have a movement stat of 6, so I can walk up to 6 inches.
Okay.
Go up here, checking 12 inches right there. Cool. Alrighty. So now I have 4 focus on me, so I'm gonna boost to hit John Shredder. So John Shredder is defense 13. I am rat 6, so I need a 7 to hit. So 6 plus 7 will equal 13.
Bring it.
I hit you
No.
on an 11. So my hand cannon is POW 12. I think your armor is 12 as well.
Let's check. Armor 13.
Armor 13. Okay, so since my POW is 12 and your armor is 13, it's dice off 1.
So,
So
damage no matter what, right?
Yeah. So if I roll Snake Eyes, I'll do 1 point of damage.
Please roll Snake Eyes.
How many boxes does he have left?
5.
5. Okay, so I need to do 5 damage, so I need a 6.
Okay.
I don't really want to kill him.
Okay.
So I'll boost.
Oh, you got it.
Okay, so I did at least 6 damage, so he's dead.
So he explodes.
Now, you have the option. You can Reave his Fury. So, at the start of your turn, you leech. But if your Warbeast dies and it has Fury on it, as its soul is leaving its body, you can take its Fury off.
Cool.
But you might not want to do that.
Oh.
Because you max at 5. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To prevent you having to take any frenzy checks.
Okay.
So you also have the option of just letting the Fury disappear into the ether.
I'll take that.
Okay. So he just goes off the table.
That sounds like a chicken. Okay. Cool.
Alright. And then my turn is over. So now it's your turn, Joe.
So all of those Fury pop onto her.
Yep.
Got it. That happens right away. She now is at her max.
Yep.
And then I'll go ahead and activate her because I want to spin the Fury, right?
She needs to pay for it.
So I can activate her, and then I can move up and then take like a cast action or something like that.
Yep, you can move up, you can try to shoot my guys, you can try to cast spells at them, you can pop your feet.
Can I shoot and cast? Those are 2 actions.
You can cast as many spells as you want during your activation, whenever in your activation, but you have to move first and then shoot. So you have your movement and your combat action is the fancy terminology for that. So watch out, my Juggernaut threat's 10 inches. So you're in the danger zone.
Kind of like that. Just outside. There.
Yeah, you're good right there.
Just like that.
Yep.
And then I can shoot, and then I can cast, or I can cast and shoot.
Either or.
Okay, cool. So one of these is Eruption of Spines. If the target model is hit, D3 nearest models within 5 inches suffer a power 10 damage roll. So I will go ahead and cast that on this guy. It's a range of 10, so that I'm outside of 10, so I can't cast that. Is that right?
However, what you can do, fancy,
Ooh.
look at your ammo types on your bow,
Okay.
which is on the back of the 1 card.
Yes.
So one of your ammo types is called Witch Mark or something like that.
Yep.
So if you hit one of my guys, I think it says...
Ignoring range and line of sight until the end of the model's activation.
Yep. So it's only range 10, but if you hit me first with your bow, you can hit me with any of your spells.
12.
Yeah.
That's cool. So it's ready to fire 2.
So you could shoot twice.
Okay, so I'm going to hit it 2 times and try to hit it at least once so I can cast a spell on it.
Yeah. And each time you shoot, you can pick a different ammo type.
Cool. So the first one I'll do both of them with Witch Mark.
All right. Well, you don't have to do them at the same time. You can do one and then see what happens, and
I'll
then
do that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So that's different from 40k. You don't
Right.
have to declare all your shots at the start. You just shoot once and then shoot it. If you have another attack, if a unit's going, one guy will shoot, then the next guy will shoot, then the next guy will shoot, like that.
Gotcha. Cool. So I'll go ahead and shoot with her. So
Okay.
I want to shoot the big Warjack there.
Okay.
So I look for my
So your rat,
which is 7.
7. My defense is 10. I'm not very dodgy,
Gotcha.
so you need a 3 to hit me.
It's pretty easy to hit. So I just roll these 2 dice.
So double ones always misses, regardless of
Gotcha.
how, like, there are a couple models in the game that are mat 9 and would hit them on a 2, but double ones always misses.
Okay.
And double 6s, so boxcars always hits.
Gotcha.
Like if you're rat 4 and you're trying to hit something that's 20, you could still hit them if you roll boxcars.
Right. Cool. Ready?
You hit!
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Alright. So I've been hit with your Witch Mark. What is the POW on your gun?
Power 12.
12. I am armor 20.
So 8. So 8 off of your armor.
Yes.
So I have to get at least 9
To do any damage.
to do any damage at all. So I could spend a focus or a fury,
To boost.
correct? To boost it, and I could do 3.
Yep.
And I could possibly get more.
And here.
Oh yes.
The column die.
Call. So it's 3 plus the call.
The column will just be where I mark the damage.
Gotcha. Ready?
So it looks like a 12.
Yep.
So that'll be
Four.
3 damage to column 4.
Yes. I'll take it. And then I can cast a spell.
Yep.
Cool. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. That's good. Sweet. And now I'll cast the Eruption of Spines.
Okay, so you would spend the cost of the spell.
So a 3
Yep.
off her. And then it
And
says...
So because I've been witch marked,
Uh-huh.
you ignore. Normally you couldn't hit me because you're farther than 10 inches.
Right.
But I've been witch marked, so you can still hit me. So you're Fury 5, so that's how good you are at casting spells.
Cool.
So you'd roll 2 dice, add your Fury, and see if you hit my defense. So you need a 5 to hit me.
Oh, 5 out of these 2?
Yeah.
So a pretty good chance of doing that.
I've been hit.
Good.
So
And,
it says the D3 nearest enemy model, so roll a die.
Be a 6. It's 2. 1.
So
edge.
1.
She
So
gets it.
it's going to be Sorsha.
Cool.
So him and Sorsha are going to take POW 10s.
Cool.
So on the Juggernaut, a POW 10 is dice off 10. Because I'm a heavy warjack, I'm tough.
Okay. So it's 10 damage. So just roll these 2.
Yep. So no damage.
And then a her.
My armor is 15, so you do 5.
Yes.
I'm going to spend a focus to reduce the damage by 5, so I take nothing.
Whoa. That's a huge thing. That's okay. That's okay. I'm fine with that. And now I'm going to shoot him again.
Okay. Do you want to use a different ammo type? What are your other ammo types?
I have another one, which is Blood Lure. War beasts in the group can charge with enemy models without being forced.
So you wouldn't have to add a Fury to them
cool.
to charge.
And then inflict pain if it hits a war beast.
I am not a war beast, so it doesn't matter.
You can place 1. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so no. I could do the Blood Lure, but I want to add Fury, I think. Yes.
Wait, what?
Oh. Okay. So I want to add Fury to add, you know, when I'm doing stuff, I want to add that to there. So that's fine. I'll just hit him with a regular attack.
Okay.
Or could I hit him with another spell? Oh, 'cause
If
it
you
costs
have
at least
the
2.
yeah,
Okay.
and you're
There's
down
no
to
way
1.
for me to add Fury.
No.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and yeah. I'll go ahead and shoot him again.
Cool.
Drain 12.
So
7.
you need a 3 to hit me. I've been hit.
All right. And then your defense, you said, is 20.
Yeah, the armor is 20. You're a POW 12, so
at
it's
least 9.
Yep.
And then I'll spend my final Fury to add another.
Cool.
And then,
Oh, jeez.
oh, great. 13.
13. So off 9, so that's 4 damage to my column 6.
Yes. Good. Thank you, 6.
All right, so my Juggernaut's taking 7 damage so far.
Nice. I'll take it.
So I don't.
Then I have my other guys to go as well.
Yep.
Cool. So this guy, speed 5. Now, how does it work in terms of I can move and charge, or is the charge the full?
Charge is your movement.
Cool. And it's only
So I think I'm outside the charge
double
range.
your
of all
range
of you.
minus an inch.
All right, no, it's speed plus 3.
Speed plus 3, so 8
So
inches.
he
is
charges
all I can
8.
go. And these guys would be
They charged 9.
9. So they can't get in.
I don't
'cause they only
think
have
any of
half
them
an
can
inch.
get there.
Okay. That's fine. So what could they do at range? They do anything interesting?
Your Carnivian has a spray attack.
Oh, cool. It is range.
That's its animus. So it could also do that.
Oh, I see. It's range SP10.
So it's a spray 10. So it'd be the full length of this.
So I could move him 5 and then spray 10.
Yes.
Cool. That's what I'm going to do. Move 5. And he just goes through the terrain like that?
Yep.
All right.
I like her.
Wobbly model.
Oh no.
A lot of players play with flat terrain to avoid that stuff because they're big walls.
Yep.
And then 10.
All right.
I can hit him.
You could hit him. So if you target him,
Yep.
it's just going to be him.
Okay.
So what
I'm okay
is
with that.
what is your rat, sir?
My rat is going to be 4.
So you need a 6 to hit me.
I could do that. No.
Didn't do it.
Can I
So-
reroll anyway?
Nope.
No rerolls?
So nothing happens. So he could cast his Animus on himself
Okay.
by adding 2 Fury to himself because his cost is 2.
Cool.
And he would get +2 defense. And then whenever I hit you with a Warjack, I would take D3 damage.
Is it just cast?
Yep. There's no, like... In this game, there's... When you cast
only
anything, there's
offense
no,
and
like, chance
Gotcha.
on whether it... Unless
Separate offense.
unless you're trying to hit someone with
Right.
it.
Cool. And now these guys can move,
Yep.
and they have a couple of things. They have a frenzy, which is fine. Flank.
Yep. So if they're attacking someone who's also in the melee range of another one of your dudes,
Uh-huh.
in this case a friendly faction war beast, so either your Carnivian or their brother Shredders, then they get +2 to hit and an additional damage die.
Cool.
So that's how they start cranking out damage.
Okay. What is relentless charge?
So Relentless Charge means you get Pathfinder when you charge. So
Gotcha.
normally, if I didn't have Pathfinder, I couldn't charge over this wall,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd be slow if I was charging through the rough terrain.
Gotcha.
But if you have Pathfinder, you just ignore that.
Cool. So would it be useful for me as a new player to have these guys kind of nearby waiting, or get them kind of in range, or like have them surrounding over here maybe?
I could probably kill your Warlock next turn.
Really?
So it might be a good idea to put them as kind of like blocking.
Okay. And that would just be their double their movement, so I could do
If they wanted to
5,
run.
7, like that.
Yep.
5 and easily 7, like that.
The other one's there's the first one, the 1-0.
It'd be something like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And you might, if you leave one of these guys in front, like here or something, it also he starts blocking the charge lane for my big guy,
Cool. Good. to
so
know.
that I can't get to your guy.
Gotcha.
That's what happens a lot in bigger point games. You'll bring some units that are pretty cheap,
Uh-huh.
just to act as like a buffer, so you can bring your big heavy hitters up behind them, so that your opponent can't get to them. But next turn, you just move your guys out of the way and you charge through.
Cool. Good to know.
All right. So since they ran, they add a fury to each of them.
Gotcha.
And these guys are also pretty expendable. They're only 4 points apiece. So
Gotcha.
they're
Yeah,
not
so I said
very
the other guy
expensive.
just exploded.
Yeah.
Cool.
Alrighty. So I think your turn is done, right?
I think so, because that's their whole actions running.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, I'm done.
Okie doke. So now that John has placed his Warlock there, I'm thinking about assassination. So
No.
in a game, so normally if you want to play with the scenario, you can. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. But the only way to win if you're not playing a scenario is to kill your opponent's Warcaster.
Gotcha.
You could be completely tabled. Like, your Warcaster is the only model left on the board, but you're still playing the game. And if you were to kill your opponent's Warcaster, you'd win, regardless of how many models you have left.
Gotcha.
Um,
Leader's dead.
Yep, it's a lot like chess. You got to protect the king. So, think what would probably be best is my assassination is likely, but it's not my best move, I think.
Okay.
I think it'd be better if I were to try something else. Just try to get ahead on the board in the peace trade.
Gotcha.
So,
How long does that fog of war last?
oh, I forgot about its effect before, but whatever. It's an upkeep spell. So
Okay.
at the beginning of my turn, I can spend a focus to upkeep it.
Cool.
I don't think it matters very much. So I'm just going to go up to my 6 and drop it.
Okay.
So I actually forgot about its effect before. My Juggernaut would have had a concealment, so it would have been defense 12.
Oh,
which would have made it harder to hit.
gotcha.
But I forgot about my model's rules, so that's my fault.
Well, I rolled pretty well too.
Yeah,
So
doesn't matter in the end. So my Warjacks will get their free focus because they start in my control area.
cool.
And then, I think I want to try to kill that Carnivian. Can I do it?
No.
It has spiny growth on it,
No.
so it is armor 20 right now.
Sweet.
So it's a tough cookie.
Yep. And he bites. He bites a lot.
Yep. So
Bring it.
what I want to do, I'm
Bring it, bro.
gonna check how far my Juggernaut is from his Carnivian. My Juggernaut is outside of 8 inches, so I can't get there with a normal charge. I'll have to cast Boundless Charge on him if he wants to get there. But I also kind of need to clear this guy out of the way. Now I can do that with the help of my Destroyer. If I can land a hit on this guy with the gun, I can do a lot of damage with my big cannon. And I can also shoot him with my hand cannon.
Nice.
The only problem is, can I hit him? So I guess I'll have to use my feet during my turn, which will make him stationary. When you're stationary, you're frozen.
Okay.
So your defense drops to 5. And next turn, you have to shake it by either adding a Fury, or in the case of your Warlock, you'd spend a Fury
Okay.
to become unfrozen, or you just lose your activation.
Wow.
Yep. So it's really big on units that can't shake because they don't have focus, so
Okay.
they're just stuck there
Wow.
for a round. Her feat is very powerful. So what I want to do is I'm going to give this guy 3, or go up to his 3, so I give him 2, so I still have 4 on my Warcaster. And then, if he's frozen, I should be able to hit him pretty well. So, I think this 1 focus will be good. I just need not once to hit him, and then I can boost damage to do some real damage. So I'm not going to allocate any focus to him. So my Warcaster has 4, this guy has 3 up to his max, and this guy has 1.
Okay.
So now, I'm going to activate my Warcaster. My feat affects models in my line of sight and 12 inches from me. He's kind of blocking, well, let's see. So, in this game, models have a front arc,
Okay.
which is their front 180, which, unless it's marked, we usually go by shoulders.
Gotcha.
That's the easy way to tell. And you can measure line of sight from any part in your front arc. So, drawing a line from here to here, I can see that Shredder, and he's within 12 inches. I can see Lilith on that line. I can see this guy, obviously. I can see him, and I can see him. So, smaller base models don't block line of sight to bigger guys. But this guy would block line of sight to her. But I can draw a line to each of these guys, and they're within 12 inches. So I'm going to pop my feet, and they all go stationary.
Wow. No blocking it?
Nope.
Wow.
Stationary, 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 stationary.
Okay.
And then I'm going to
That
shoot.
costs 1 for you?
No, that is my once per game.
Uh,
I just get to pop it.
Okay.
I'm going to try to shoot this guy.
Okay.
So with my hand cannon, I am Brat 6.
Versus the
You're defense 5 because you're frozen. So I need not once.
Okay.
I hit you on a 3.
Oh, right. It's not damage yet.
No. It is a POW 12. Your armor is 13, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I...
It has a twirly symbol on it. That means.
Oh, soulless.
Soulless, okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Does
So-
soulless mean I couldn't have taken that off?
No. There are a couple models that collect soul tokens. which if they kill one of your guys, they don't get a soul.
Gotcha.
And a couple models also collect corpse tokens,
Ooh.
which they'd still collect a corpse from you, but they don't collect corpses from my warjacks because they're constructs.
Right.
So I'm not going to spend a focus to boost this, so it's just going to be, so your armor's 13, my POW's 12, so it's off 1. So you take 6 to the column 3.
And then go up from there. So it's the third guy over. 3. So it's that's 1, 2, 3. How many?
6.
4. Body's dead. 5. 6. Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, and then she's going to cast Boundless Charge on this guy. So he gets an additional 2 inches when he charges.
Cool.
And then she's going to peace out, because she doesn't want to be here, because you could try to kill me. So I want to get away from your dudes. So I have a spell called Wind Rush that costs 2. The spellcaster can immediately make a full advance. Full advance means you move up to your speed, so in this case 6. And then she gains +2 defense for 1 round.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she's going to go over here. A little bit farther away from your dudes. This guy is going to sit still, and he's going to shoot him. So your defense 5, I'm rat 4. When I sit still, I aim, so I get +2 to hit.
Okay.
So my effective rat is 6. I need not 1s to hit you.
Gotcha. No snake eyes.
I hit you again.
Whoa, man.
I will boost damage. So
Okay. Yellow.
This is an AoE. So it's a 4-inch AoE, and I have a fancy widget for blast damage. So no one else is caught in the blast. So it's just going to be him.
Okay.
You can buy all these. Privateer Press makes these token sets. These are really handy. They're for like small base. If you want a 4-inch AoE, you just put it on the edge of the base, and that's who's hit.
Cool.
Like small, medium, large.
Nice.
And they've also got. This is my favorite template. Like it's got 5 inches for stealth, 1/2 inch for melee, 2 inch for 2-inch melee, which in Mark II was reach, and 3 inches comes up a lot for line of sight.
Gotcha. Cool.
So I have hit you. Your armor is 13. I am a power 14, so whatever I roll +1
Okay.
for damage. And I boosted, so I get 3 dice, and the yellow will be the call. So you take 9 damage to the 3. I believe he is dead. Okay, so you have the option of leeching that, or reaving that fury. You probably want to.
Yeah. Take it. All right, he's gone.
Okay,
Goodbye,
so
little fellow.
that's his activation. So now, my Juggernaut can charge 9 inches. So I can break out my handy-dandy 9-inch widget, and I will get there all day. So
Okay.
I'm going to move into up here. So in this game, when you charge, you have to move in a straight line.
Right.
And it's towards. So directly towards would be this line. Towards is any line that will get me in melee after I finish moving. So because I have Boundless Charge on me, it doesn't cost me a focus to charge.
Okay.
So now I'll make my charge attack with my Ice Axe. So my Juggernaut is mat 7. Your defense is 11, right? So I need a 4 to hit.
Okay.
I hit, and I also get a crit. Or actually, you're already stationary.
Yeah.
I would have auto hit you in melee.
Okay.
So this didn't matter. But for the sake of the roll, you would be stationary again.
Oh, right, because I'm basically
Yeah.
defenseless.
Yep.
Right.
If you're frozen, you're auto hit in melee, and your defense 5 against ranged attacks. But
Okay.
I forgot. So anyway, I hit. So Spiny Growth. Can you read that for a second?
Go ahead and suffer D3 damage immediately after the attack is resolved? Or is this the whole attack first?
After the attack is resolved, so
Gotcha.
after the damage.
Gotcha. Okay, sorry, what did you say?
So I am Powerful Strength 19,
Alright, and I'm defense 18.
but you get +2 from your Spiny Growth.
Right, so 20.
So I'm off 1. Dice
Gotcha.
-1.
So,
And I get 3 dice because I charged.
okay.
So I got 12, so that's 11 damage to your 5
Wow.
on the big guy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Mine is, spirit is gone. No spirit left.
Cool.
It's been shattered.
So now I get my other initial, my punch.
Okay.
I auto hit you because you're stationary, so I don't have to make an attack roll.
Now, is that attack resolved, so you take the D3?
Oh, I take the D3 now. So
Okay.
roll a dice, and the column die as well. So I take 3 to my 5.
Wow.
This could matter because John could knock out one of my systems,
Right.
which would make my Juggernaut like not hit as hard or something.
Gotcha. So then the next attack does the same thing?
Yep. So I auto hit you. It's a Palpable Strength 15. Your armor 20.
Okay.
So I'm off 5. So you take 3 to your 4.
1, 2, 3. And then you take
And now I take D3 damage. I take 3 to my 4.
Haha!
Okay, this is actually an issue.
Good. I like it. Drama.
So now I buy an attack.
Okay.
So I'm going to buy an attack with my Ice Axe because it's my hardest hitting weapon.
Alright.
So I automatically hit you because you're stationary.
Gotcha.
And this is off 1.
Okay.
So you take 7 to your 2.
That hurts.
No, she took cash. I have the card.
Okay.
Okay, now I take D3 damage again.
Again. Give me a 6 to the 4 or something. That's just
1 to the 6. Oh my god. You are close to knocking out the right side.
Sweet.
So now I'll buy another Ice Axe. So I've spent 2 focus.
Oh my goodness, you can just keep on buying?
Yep, until I run out of focus.
Wow.
So I auto hit you, and then it's dice off 1. So you take 5 to your 6.
1, 2, 3, 5. So 2 of mine are gone.
Okay. So now I take D3 damage again.
Yeah! What?
You gotta be.
That's what you get. That's what you get.
So John has knocked out my right arm and my cortex. So I lose this focus because my cortex is out and he's done. So that ends his activation.
Now, my guy's almost dead, but that's hilarious.
Yep.
That's what you get.
Crap. I was just in my head. I was like, "Don't do it! Don't do it!"
Don't do it.
How did you just roll column 4, column 5, and column 6 just constantly?
Yep. Yep. Which is funny because I am notorious for rolling low whenever I play games. Like if I roll this right now, it'd be like a 1 or a 2. It's a 1. See? It's a 1.
Look at this.
Put it in the lower one.
There's just the right side. It's just the right side.
The right side. Now, if I take out that 6, does it mean he blows up? Or do I have to take out everything?
Warjacks don't blow up.
Oh, they just kind of...
They just die.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But I mean that he dies at what point?
Once all of his boxes are marked.
Gotcha.
So he's got 17 boxes left.
Wow, okay. And my guy has 4.
Crap. This is where the thing like your warlock spending fury to heal your war beast matters because you can spend 2 fury to heal 1 from your spirit and 1 from your mind, and then he's fully functioning.
Sweet, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
My turn?
Yep.
Sweet. So I have to spend
So you leech first. So you go up to your 5 by taking all this fury off.
Awesome.
And then now, if you want to shake this effect, you can. So
go ahead
if
and
you
shake
don't,
on her for free or one.
so
Spend
she's
one?
a warrior model, so she has to spend a fury to shake.
Great.
If your war beasts want to shake, they have to add a fury.
Okay. So I go ahead and shake hers, and then I'll cast a spell on. Can I cast a spell on this guy?
It's not her activation yet. This is
Oh.
before any of the activations
Oh,
happen.
cool. Okay.
So,
They all
Yep.
gain one,
okay.
and then they all gain fury. Okay. Cool. They're
Yep.
a little furious now.
So my plan backfired spectacularly
It did really
in
bad.
that if John takes out my Juggernaut, I'm now starting to hurt for damage. I might have to kill his Carnivian with my Warcaster at some point, which is risky.
Yes. Yes, it is. That did really backfire on you. Okay, so I want to cast a spell. Can I cast a spell or shoot a melee if you're engaged?
So if you're trying to shoot someone in melee, they get a +4.
For defense?
Yeah.
Or for hitting?
They +4 defense against your shot. Now, if you sit still, you go up to Rat 9. My Juggernaut would go up to defense 14 in melee, so you still need a 5 to hit.
Gotcha.
Um,
Cool. Witch mark wouldn't really make a difference.
no.
I'll be back.
What is arm? ARM? Minus 3
Armor.
Armor.
Yeah.
So I could cast Parasite on it.
Yes, that would matter, because my Juggernaut, his big shtick is he has high armor. It's
So
hard
I
to
would cast
damage.
Parasite.
Yeah.
So it's range 8. It's
I'm
offensive.
obviously within 8.
Okay, costs 3. So 3 off her.
Well, here's the issue then. If you cast Parasite, you can't heal your
Oh,
dude.
you're right. So I go ahead and heal 2 from him.
Okay.
That gives me 2 left. So then he has 1 from, I guess, 5 and 1 from 1.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's back.
Okay.
And then he is fully functioning now.
Yep.
And I guess I could cast like a 2 spell, or can I
Yep.
shoot a couple of times at him?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, I guess I'll shoot a couple of times at him. So I just need
Okay,
5.
so
for the
are
first
you
one.
sacrificing your movement to aim?
That would give me 2.
That would give you +2 to hit.
Plus 2 hit. I need 3s to hit.
You'd need 5s to hit.
Oh right. Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I could do that.
Okay, so you stay there. So to hit me in melee, you need a 5.
And I'll use Blood Lore, so they don't have to be forced.
When they charge me, yeah.
Okay. So
Cool. So you've
Alright.
hit me.
Yay.
Cool. So I am Bloodlord. So
Next.
it is a power 12.
Mm-hmm.
I'm armor 20. So it's off 8.
Okay.
I take 1.
I'll
Give
take
me a column.
that. Right. 1.
1. Now you roll a 1.
Right? Should have been a 6. Okay, cool. I'll take that. And then, does she shoot it twice, or is that it?
She can shoot again if she wants to.
What else could she do, theoretically? For people watching the stream.
So your options right now. Can I see your spells?
Yeah. I got 2 left I can use.
So you could also use your feet. However, my guys are really easy to hit, and your feet lets you hit better. So it might be better to save that for later if you're trying to kill my Warcaster.
Right, I'll do that.
Yeah. So don't pop your feet.
Can I spend the 2 Fury somehow?
You could spend it if you want to boost damage on a shot, or yeah, Pursuit is not worth it. So you can either just get rid of it, or you can hold on to it, which means you could transfer damage
Okay.
if you were to take any damage, or you could like shoot me and then like boost damage or something.
Yeah, let me do that. So I'll shoot you
Okay,
in 5s.
so I need need a 5.
Got it again.
Got it.
And then I'll do 2 or 1.
Just 1 to boost.
1 to boost.
So
3.
Yep. So
And then yellow for location.
-8.
5. It's 5.
So I take So John rolled an 11, so minus 8 is 3. So I take 3 to my 5. And since my 5 is fully marked, my 6 is fully marked, I go to 1. So 1, 2, 3.
Oh, sweet. Okay. I take it. Nice. And then I guess could I put one more health from him, or is that it?
You could if you wanted to.
I guess I'll do that.
Okay.
Help him out a little bit. Help you out, buddy. Take that. That's fine.
Okay.
Cool. And now his activation.
Yes.
And so for him,
He has all his initial attacks.
great. So I could cast Spiny Growth again. I'm assuming that he's going to hit me next round if he survives.
He's probably dead.
Okay. So in that case, so Bite and then Talon. So
Yeah, so-
each have a range of 1. Their P plus S is 18 and 16. The other one has a fist symbol. Talon has a fist symbol. It says 2 for the
So
sword.
you could choose to do a two-handed throw, which is probably not advantageous. You want to kill my guy instead of just chuck him away.
Oh, okay. Cool, cool. So Bite.
Yeah.
Cool. So if I bite him, how many attacks do I have against that?
So all the weapons listed are your initials, so you get 1 bite and 2 talons, and then you have to start buying attacks.
Okay. And the Talon is a chuck somebody?
No, the talon is also just damage if you
Okay.
want it to be.
Cool. So
My-
I'll go
my-
ahead and Bite first.
Yep.
And that's power 6.
So
I have
you're
mat of
mat
6.
6. I'm defense 10, so you need a 4 to hit me. I've been hit. Now that's a critical, but you don't have any critical effects, so
Gotcha.
it doesn't matter.
Okay. So hit. And now
so
if I
it's-
roll for the amount of damage.
Yep.
So is it better to buy attacks or to add damage?
So usually the cutoff is if I'm at dice minus 4,
Uh-huh.
I'll keep buying attacks. If I'm at dice minus 5, I want to boost on my damage rolls.
So what am I at right now?
You're at dice minus 2. You'd probably just be better served if you were buying attacks.
So I'm gonna buy attacks. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead and roll location. It's 2. 1.
Oh, okay. So 8 damage to the one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now my fist is also broken.
Great.
And I have 5 left.
So this guy probably dies now.
Yep.
Okay.
So now
Another
you
one?
get your initial talon attack.
Oh, talent attack. And that says X2 or times
Yep.
2?
So you have 2 talons. So you get to make 1 and then another one.
Let's roll twice. Or I need to keep them separate.
Just do it 1 at a time.
Okay.
So you hit,
Good.
and then it's a palpable strength 16, so it's dice minus 4. In this case, John does no damage because he rolled a 3.
No! Alright, and then go the other one.
Yep. Second talon hits, and then dice minus 4. Also no damage.
Boo. So how do I buy another attack?
So you can buy an attack, and with this attack, you can use any of your melee weapons. So
Talons again, is that better, or do you think I should use
the
other
bite.
one? Bite.
It's
okay.
higher palpable strength.
Gotcha. That one hits.
Yep.
And then... Good. So 9.
So I take
On 4.
7 damage. That wrecks my Juggernaut. That's all of his damage.
Woohoo!
So he just goes away.
Good.
Alright.
Anything
And then,
special happen?
nope. I think the Carnivian is done.
Can I spend the 2 for a spell?
Oh, you
For
could.
Spiny growth at the
Yeah,
end?
but you'd add
Oh,
Fury.
you
to
add
it.
2. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
He's got 2 on him, and he maxes at 4, so you could cast Spiny Growth.
And that's when they're hit
What's
or
up,
when they're
Jesse?
melee hit. But they're gonna shoot me, right?
I'm probably going to shoot you.
So in that case, I'm not gonna cast Spiny growth.
Well, it would give you +2 armor,
I'm gonna
which
cast
might be
Spiny
relevant.
growth.
Okay.
Cool. And then these guys can just kind of run. Would that be easier or better for them, or they just kind of what can they do?
Well, so you threat 9.5 inches. So,
Nothing I can dash at.
no. Nothing you can charge to right now.
Okay.
So, I guess another turn of them either just blocking the way or, like,
They could just run.
standing around, yeah.
Kinda
Or you
run.
can just walk them. They're speed 6, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Because they're already at 1, they max out at 2.
So I walk him maybe over here,
Cool.
and then him over there. So that would be good.
Yep.
And then what? What do I do after that? They're done?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they don't have a ranged attack,
Gotcha.
so.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Nice. Oh, this is exciting for me. Kind of wrecked you there with the spiny growth. That hurts. That was painful.
Oh my god.
Painful to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what are my options here, folks? All right. So now it is my turn.
I take it this guy's gonna die pretty easily.
Which guy?
This guy.
No, he is as tough as the Turner.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Yeah.
I just gotta get your Warcaster.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So my Warcaster goes back up to her 6.
Okay.
My Destroyer gets his 1 for free. I think my best bet at this point is to attempt to kill your Warlock. Or I could kill your Beast, but then I risk being killed by your Warlock in retaliation. Interesting. So I'm going into the tank here, metaphorically. So what I could do is I could try to make your Warlock stationary. I have a spell that if I hit you will freeze you. That is an option. Or I could try to beat you to death in melee with my Warcaster. However, you are kind of hard to hit. I need 10s to hit you.
Wow.
But
12.
But if I crit on any of them, you're frozen, and then I auto hit you.
Interesting.
First. And you're also on no fury.
Huh?
Is the big thing.
Okay.
So I gotta check how far am I from here. So unfortunately, my Destroyer cannot aim and shoot you.
And she's not a concealment because that would be concealment.
No, but you do have elevation, so you're +2 against shooting.
Gotcha.
So if I were to walk up, you'd be defense 18. I'm a 4 when I walk up, so I need a 14 to hit you.
And you can't do that with 2 dice, but you could.
I could boost.
Oh, you could boost. Okay.
Yeah. Alternatively, I could walk her up here, cast a spell at you that would make you frozen.
And then shoot with him.
But I'd have to hit you with the spell as the issue.
Oh, and she's still got that.
She's still defense 18 against that, so I need a 12.
And then your Warcaster's kind of stuck there.
Yeah.
Ready to get pounced.
So to boost and cast that spell, I'd need to spend 4 focus.
Okay.
So if I hit with that, I can then shoot you with my hand cannon once you're frozen, which is trivial because I need not once to hit you.
Right.
And then I could then cast another... I have an offensive spell that does damage.
Okay.
So I could cast that as well for my remaining 2. And then I could try to kill you with him.
Give it a shot, man.
Yeah. I mean, my other option is I can cast Wind Rush, which will bring me up to here, and then I can charge your caster.
Wow.
Which I think is the better option right now. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to start off with him because him shooting into melee is like impossible. So it's better to go with him, try to hit you on the off chance, and then see what happens after that.
Cool.
So he's going to walk up here and shoot you. So I'm going to boost a hit with my 1 focus.
Okay.
So you are an 18 on the hill because you're a 16 and you go up and you get +2 for being on elevation.
Right.
I'm a 4.
It says defense 16.
Yes.
Okay, so 18, right.
I'm a 4 because I can't hit things very well. So I need a 14 to hit you.
Roll low.
I miss. Good. So, but it's an AoE attack.
Right. So 10 plates.
So it could drift. So it is going... Yellow will be direction. So it's direction 3, 2 inches. So it's going to clip both of them.
Okay.
So on your Warcaster, it's a POW 7. Your armor 14, right?
13. Oh, sorry, wrong one.
14?
Yes, 14.
So it's off 7. So
Okay.
So you take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
To start. And your Carnivian is armor 20 right now, so I can't hurt him with the blast damage because it's dice minus 13. I can't roll above a 12 on 2 dice.
Cool. A crit does nothing.
No.
Okay. So now your caster.
So my caster can go. She's going to Wind Rush. So let's do this as technical as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So if she moves 4 inches, she goes to right here.
Cool. Very precise movement. I like it. Always appreciated.
She's going to go 2 inches to up here. And then I'm going to charge your Warlock. So I charge 9 inches, so I can get there all day, and I have reach. The key thing is I don't want to take any free strikes from your dudes. So if I enter your melee and then I leave, you get to make a parting blow against me. But I don't want to get into any of your melee. But unfortunately, it looks like I can't avoid the Shredder here. So I'm going to at least take his free strike. I can avoid this guy. And then his... I lost my inch one, but an inch... So here's 2. So an inch would be like right here. So if I go through... I'm pushing it a little bit. If I go through this gap right here, I just take the 1 free strike from him.
Okay.
So I'll charge along here and you get your free strike. So how a free strike works, so I move over here into melee range with your Warlock with my 4 focus. So I'm a warrior model, so it doesn't cost me a focus to charge.
Cool.
So your Shredder gets to make a free strike. So your Shredder is mat 5 base.
Oh, I forgot to add the additional attack die on attacks this turn.
Did you feat?
Oh, I didn't feat. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's just 1 turn that can do that.
Yeah. Your Shredder is mat 5.
Yes.
So he goes up to mat 7 on free strikes.
Okay.
So I'm a defense 16, so you need a 9 to hit me.
Can I add a fury to add?
This is out of your activation, so you can't do anything. Okay, you hit me. So free strikes have an additional damage die.
Okay. So I'll take another green one.
Yep.
Woohoo! Come on,
So
give me 18.
what is your palpable strength?
10.
10. I am armor 15.
So at least 5.
Yes, so it's off 5.
18. I'll do 12 damage. Okay. 7. And...
So I take 6.
Yes!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okie doke.
I'll take that. That's good.
Cool. So now I am in melee with your caster.
Cool.
So I charged you. I want to boost a hit this charge because I'm really looking for that crit, and you're also kind of hard to hit.
Okay.
So your defense 16, right?
Yes.
I'm a mat 6, so I need a 10 to hit you.
We got 3 dice.
Yes.
Come on, roll up. Roll up.
I miss.
Yes! Yes!
Okie doke.
This is good, Tommy. This is how you make a new player feel good. Let him win.
We're gonna buy an attack.
Let the Wookiee win. Okay, you gonna attack again?
Yep. And I'm going to boost a hit again.
Okay.
Come on. I need...
So 10s again?
Yep.
Definitely hit that time.
Yep. And that's a crit, so you're stationary.
Okay.
So my next attack will auto hit you.
Wow.
So I am a palpable strength 13 on my Frostfang. You are armor 14?
Yes.
So I'm dice off 1.
All right.
So take 5 damage.
Okay.
So you've got 9 points left. So I spend my last focus to buy an attack. I auto hit you.
Okay. Just damage straight up here.
Yep. So I need a 10 to win. Yep. Take 6.
Okay.
All right. That is my turn.
Yes! I can win!
Yep. So,
I can't get rid
well,
of this?
so we leech first.
Leech first, okay.
So you've got 5. You've got 6 out. So you can't take one of these.
That's fine. So I'll take all 5 from there.
Okay. So
Then I'll spend 1 to take that away.
yeah,
And I
and we
roll
got to
the
check
back.
his. So his threshold is 7.
So I can't.
So 2 dice. 2 dice.
Oh, right.
He's actually fine.
Okay.
He does not frenzy.
Right at 7. Okay.
So, but that fury stays on him.
Cool.
Okay, so you spent the 1 to shake.
Mm-hmm.
So
5 left for her.
Now, what is probably the best idea is he is going to eat her.
Yep.
So
charge
yes,
right there. Using.
or he can. The best
Wobbly
thing
walk.
would be to do just walk up.
Okay, so walk.
Yeah.
And then
Walk and then
I'll just
yeah
like-
use your initials.
So-
So you're at 6.
Oh, and I'm gonna. Can I spin her feet? Or is that on?
Oh yeah. Go with her first.
Yeah. So
Go with her first.
feet for free, right?
Yep.
This happens. Make
And-
additional attack.
You might as well just move up and like try to hit me with your melee attack.
Yeah, it's PS7.
Well, you're at 5.
Oh, it's 5. Yes.
So and you have when you pop your feet, you have an additional die, so you've got 3 dice.
Okay. And
So-
your defense is
I'm defense 18 right now because I used Wind Rush.
so 18. So I have 7. So it's 11 to hit. Is that right?
You're a 5, so you need a 13. Well, you hit.
Okay. And then the damage is
It's a Palpable Strength 7. I'm armor 15, so it's off 5.
okay. So 8. So
So-
down an 8, but it doesn't do anything.
Doesn't do
Just do above 8, right?
So what you can try to do,
Could I have burned a fury to add an additional damage to it?
you could have, but one thing you can do is you can cast Parasite at me,
Okay.
which might be good.
minus
Because that'll
3 armor.
reduce my armor.
I'll do that. So it costs 3. So take 3 off.
And you're going to need to spend a focus. Because you're a Fury 5,
Uh huh.
I'm in 18, and you really want this to hit. You already have 3 dice because of your feet, but now you've got 4 dice because you spent another Fury to boost it.
So I have to get.
You need a 13 on 4 dice. You got it.
All right.
Okay, so I'm parasited, so I'm minus 3 armor.
Sweet.
So now this guy will absolutely destroy me if he
So
can
he
hit
walks.
me. So he walks up, and then so he's
Gets the 3.
already got 3 dice.
And then he has
Might as well just boost this
right. So
to go up to 4 dice.
boosted 4 dice.
So you need a 12 to hit me, because
So he
I'm
has-
defense 18.
But this one's P plus. No, that's later, right?
You're
Matt
mat
is
6. I'm defense 18.
12. Good.
Yes, you hit me.
Okay, and then the damage is.
You're a Palpable Strength 18.
Mm-hmm.
I'm parasited, so I'm armor 12. So your dice plus 6.
And how much health do you have left?
11. So you need a 5. You got it.
I won! Woo! No, once I get the core principles, it really does make sense. I like it. It seems it really does when people say it's like chess, but more. It makes sense. I like it.
Yeah.
That's good. Cool. That was fun. I like it. So when I'm looking at these, I can also use the app
Yes.
to use the cards. So you don't have to write down on the cards like that or print them out every time.
Yep.
You can also laminate them, and in which case you just use a dry erase. A lot of people do
Yeah.
that.
They've stopped producing the cards. Like they used to
Okay.
make deck boxes for the cards, but now they're all available online. And like John said, you can go to like a Kinko's or something and get them printed on some card stock, and that'll be really nice. And just put them in a card sleeve.
And so that game took an hour and a half because he was explaining, but that level of game probably take an hour.
Yeah, this will take 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, and so
at
you can
this-
play larger ones. A lot of our folks play larger ones. The battle group themselves is only $39.99 if you get it here at Gigabytes Cafe, and then you can get a larger box, which is a core army, which is everything for $200. And that literally just you just get everything that
Yeah,
is there. Right?
that's only for Grimkin right now, just
Okay.
because they just came out. It's a
Right.
limited edition thing. But around holidays, they usually do like a holiday bundle.
Sweet.
So it'll be like $300 worth of models for like 150.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Good deal. And so you can pick these up here. We also have the Convergence of Cyrus,
Yep.
which I
Convergence
actually like
Cirrus.
the look, so I might pick them.
Robots.
My first guys.
Their
Robots.
their faction is about they reach perfection through robots. So they
Cool.
put their souls into like batteries, and they put that into like robot bodies. So
like
their
it.
troops are like dudes who have had their souls taken and put into robot bodies.
That's neat.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome. So we're going to do more streams this week because we also start our Journeyman League.
Yep.
Which I believe starts tomorrow.
Yes.
So we have that, and so if this is a perfect opportunity for you to get into the game, you can get your box and then assemble it. I think some of these are metal, so that makes it fairly easy to assemble. Some of them are plastic. So once you assemble it all together,
all these current battle group boxes are
sure, plastic.
metal.
Oh, they are?
Are plastic. I think they're plastic.
They should be plastic, yeah.
Yep, they're plastic.
The older ones, like this one, might be metal, which works well for systems machines.
This is way back from Mark 1 sculpt, and this guy is full metal.
Right.
They've been moving to plastic on a lot of their stuff. Some stuff is also resin.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
The only other one I was thinking of was Cricks. They look cool too.
Yep.
So one of those two. That's gonna be my first. My first.
Crix
faction
is
to
the
start
Dragon Father. So
nice. Cool. I like it.
He's.
But thank you, Tommy, for showing this to us. I mean, this is awesome. So we'll definitely do more Warmachine streams. We'll just be playing. But now that you've seen this stream, you can get an idea of what it plays like. Fairly simple. You know, you're rolling on averages, which is a lot different of a gameplay than straight up. So, you know, rolling I have to get a 3, it's a lot bigger of a swing than you do with averages, which I kind of like that idea. And so by, you know, spinning things, you're really increasing your chances of beating that average, I like. So it's very cool. Awesome. And the models look great. They're very fun to paint.
To go from here, if you wanted to pick up one of these battle groups, what you should probably look at after these is look at some units for the faction you pick up. So like in Khador has a bunch of troops. Like here's the Iron Fang Pikeman model. He's a pretty typical like dude in the faction. And so that's a good place to go from there. And just take a look at Cards Online models, like see what you want to get into. I got into Khador because I like Russian robots.
That's cool.
Yep.
It's very cool. Sweet, thanks, Tommy. And thanks for joining us, y'all. We'll be back later on tonight for some more streams. So in the meantime, come join us here. We have a lot of D&D going on tonight, so there's a lot happening. And so we will see y'all next time here at Gigabytes Cafe.
See ya.